in this session, we are going to discuss the questions that were asked from the topic Swayam and Swayam Prabha in NTA NET December 2020 and June 2021 March cycles. So if you consider higher education and also if you consider the various online methods that we have to identify in teaching aptitude also, we can say that these two important initiatives are really important, Swayam as well as Swayam Prabha. So if you consider the previous year question papers, you can see that they have repeatedly asked questions from this particular area. So it's very important that you need to understand how these two initiatives are different from each other. As there are some resemblance in the names like Swayam and Swayam Prabha, there are high chances if you are not well aware about these initiatives, you will be confused in the exam. So you should have a proper idea about what is Swayam and also what is Swayam Prabha as well. So in this session, we are particularly focusing on the questions that were asked from this particular area in the December 2020 and June 2021 March cycles. But before moving into the question, we'll be first focusing on the important points that you need to know or that you need to remember when it comes to Swayam and Swayam Prabha. So in order to understand what is Swayam, we have to first know what is MOOC. Alright, so MOOC stands for Massive Open Online Course. So it is a web-based platform where the students or the participants are getting online courses which is having an open access as well. So it stands for Massive Open Online Course and it was first introduced in 2008 and it became a very popular mode of learning in 2012. So this is basically an online course or it is a web-based platform which aims at unlimited participation and open access via the web. So this MOOC are actually providing a lot of courses and it can be accessed by anyone from anywhere. So that kind of an online course or that kind of a web-based platform which actually provides a lot of online courses can be called as Massive Open Online Course, and it was launched in 2008 and it was becoming or it became popular from 2012 itself. So why we need to understand this particular initiative of MOOC in the context of Swayam and Swayam Prabha? That is very important because Swayam is basically an Indian MOOC or Swayam is basically an Indian Massive Open Online Course platform, and the full form of this particular initiative Swayam is very important. This question is also repeatedly asked in the previous exams. So Swayam stands for Study Webs of Active Learning for Young Aspiring Minds. So it stands for Study Webs of Active Learning for Young Aspiring Minds. So this is basically an initiative which was launched by the MHRD department or the government of India under the Digital India. And what was the focus here? It was initiated to give a coordinated stage and free entry to web courses covering all advanced education, high school and skill sector courses. So basically this is an initiative by the government of India under the Digital India project in order to give free entry to web courses, and it consists of courses from a wide range of variety. So as I have already mentioned, it was an initiative that was formed or it was launched by the government of India, and it is basically founded on the three important cardinal principles of the education policy. They are access, equity and quality. As we already said, this is a platform which is actually providing free entry to web courses. So this focuses on the three cardinal principles which includes access anywhere from anywhere and equity to all, and also it focuses on the quality of education as well. So what is the objective of this particular effort? That is also very important. The objective of this effort is to take the best teaching learning resources to all, including the most disadvantaged. So this is the idea or this is the basic objective that acts behind this particular initiative, that is Swayam. So as we have already said, this is actually giving a free entry to a wide variety of courses, so we can access it from anywhere at any time, right? So it is basically giving a platform where we are provided with best teaching learning resources and it is provided to all. It is all inclusive, we can say that, and also it focuses on whether these kind of resources are provided or these kind of provided resources are accessed by everyone, and it includes the most disadvantaged as well. Okay, So we said that this actually provides free courses, but this free courses is actually from a wide variety, and this platform offers free access to everyone and hosts courses from class 9 till post graduation. So as I have already mentioned, it is providing courses of a wide range. It's a wide spectrum from which they are providing courses, and they're actually hosting courses from class 9 till post graduation. This is a very important point that you have to remember. There were questions that were already asked in which they have given us various options, and they asked us to identify which are the options that are actually associated with Swayam. And one of the options, or one of the statements that they have included in that particular question was this: it is actually providing courses from class 9 till post graduation. So that is very important. So that is something that you have to remember. And also it gives quality education as well. Access, equity and quality are the three cardinal principles in which this particular initiative is also focused upon, and it enables professors and faculty of centrally funded institutes like IITs, IIMs, etc. to teach students. So it focuses on quality education as well, so that they are providing courses which are actually led by the professors and faculties of the centrally funded institutes or the premium institutes of the country. So the courses that are hosted by Swayam are in 4 quadrants. So there are 4 different modes that are included in the courses that are hosted on Swayam, and that includes video lectures. That is a very important part of the courses that are hosted by Swayam. And then we have specially prepared reading material that can be downloaded or printed. And the third one is self-assessment test through tests and quizzes. So they have self-assessment tests available in their platform, and also we have online discussion forum for clearing the doubts. So these are the 4 different quadrants that is a part of the courses that are hosted by Swayam. This is again very important. You need to understand, or you need to remember, which are the 4 quadrants that are a part of the courses that are hosted on Swayam. Video lectures, specially prepared reading material that can be downloaded or printed. Then we have self-assessment tests through tests and quizzes, online discussion forum for clearing the doubts. So as we already said, the Swayam platform is particularly focused on the quality of education, right? And that is one of the most important cardinal principles that are mentioned in the education policy as well. So in order to ensure that best quality content is produced and delivered, 9 national coordinators have been appointed as a part of these courses that are hosted by Swayam. So in order to make sure or in order to ensure that the best quality resources are provided in Swayam platform, they have appointed 9 national coordinators, and these 9 national coordinators are also very important. So now we are moving to the 9 national coordinators of this particular initiative, that is Swayam, and we have AICTE, which stands for All India Council for Technical Education, and this particular coordinator is having the responsibility of self-paced and international courses. Okay, then we have National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning, and this particular coordinator is appointed for hosting courses, or this particular coordinator is having the responsibility of ensuring the quality of resources that are provided under the engineering courses. So when we are focusing on these different 9 national coordinators, these coordinators are very important, and also their responsibility, or which course is under this particular national coordinator, that is also very important. So you must have that kind of an idea when we are considering these coordinators under Swayam. So AICTE for self-paced and international courses. Then we have NPTEL. These full forms are again important. Okay, so make sure that you know the full forms of these different coordinators or these different institutions as well. So National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning for Engineering. Then we have UGC, University Grants Commission for Non-Technical Post-Graduation Education. Alright, then we have CEZ, and it is for undergraduate education. The next one is NCRT, National Council of Educational Research and Training, and this particular coordinator is having the responsibility of school education. Then we have NIOS, National Institute of Open Schooling for School Education again, and then we have Indira Gandhi National Open University for out of school students. Okay, then we have IIMP, Indian Institute of Management, and this is for management studies. Then we have National Institute of Technical Teachers Training and Research for Teacher Training Program. Alright, so if you need this list, you can just pause the video and you can just write down the various national coordinators or the 9 national coordinators of Swayam. And also make sure that when you are writing down these various national coordinators, make sure that you are adding the course in which or the courses which are under these particular coordinators' responsibility. For example, if you are taking down Indian Institute of Management, make sure that you are taking this particular thing as well for management studies. And then we have NITTTR for teacher training program. Then we have NCRT for school education, NIOS again for school education. Then we have IGNO for out of school students. This kind of a perspective is also important. You can expect questions in that particular perspective in your exam as well. Like you can expect massive following questions and that kind of questions from this particular area. So now we have a proper idea about Swayam. Now we are moving to Swayam Prabha. So how Swayam and Swayam Prabha are different from each other, that is what we are focusing on. So Swayam Prabha is basically a group of 34 DTA channel which are devoted for telecasting high quality educational programs on 24/7 basis and which is using the GSAT 15 satellite. This is again a very important point. This number is important and also the satellite's name is important because these are questions which are asked in the previous exams and also you can expect questions in the upcoming exams as well. So Swayam Prabha is basically a group of 34 DTA channels and which are providing quality educational programs at 24/7 basis and it is using the GSAT 15 satellite as well. So another important thing is if you consider the contents that are provided through this particular channels that comes under this Swayam Prabha, every day there will be new content for at least 4 hours. They will be providing 4 hours of new content and that will be repeated 5 more times in a day so that the students or the learners can flexibly participate or they can flexibly access the contents that are provided by this Swayam Prabha. So they are providing at least 4 hours of new content and also which will be repeated 5 times in a day so that the students will be allowed to choose the time of their own convenience in order to take up the information or the contents that are provided under Swayam Prabha. And also these contents that are provided by Swayam Prabha are provided by or it is basically coming from NPTEL, IITs, UGC, CEC and also IGNO. These are the various institutes which are providing the contents that are delivered through Swayam Prabha. And also another important thing is the InflipNet Center. The InflipNet Center is actually maintaining the web portal. What do you mean by this InflipNet? That is Information and Library Network. Okay, so this InflipNet Center is which maintains the web portal as well. So now you know how this Swayam is different from Swayam Prabha. This is a very important topic that you have to consider because you can expect questions in every exam from this particular initiative. So as I have already mentioned, there is a similarity in the name Swayam and Swayam Prabha. There are high chances if you don't know the proper idea of Swayam and Swayam Prabha, you will be having confusions in the exams or at times you might think it is the other way as well. So make sure that you know what is Swayam and Swayam Prabha and you know the difference between these two as well. Now we are moving to the questions that were asked from this particular area. Some of the sample questions that were asked in NTA UGC NET December 2020 and June 2021 March cycles. Here you have the first question. Given below are two statements. Statement 1 says the abbreviation MOOC stands for Massive Open Online Courses and statement 2 says the abbreviation SWAYAM stands for Study Webs of Active Learning for Young Academic Minds. So what is the answer here? Statement 1 is true. MOOC stands for Massive Open Online Courses, but statement 2 is wrong, right? Statement 2 says the abbreviation SWAYAM stands for Study Webs of Active Learning for Young Academic Minds. That is wrong. We have already discussed the right abbreviation of SWAYAM. You know that, right? If you don't know, just move back to that particular session where we have discussed and find out what is the right abbreviation of SWAYAM. Anyway, for this particular question, statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. So that is option C. Statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. So the right answer for this question is obviously option C. to the next question. The satellite used for the transmission and telecast of Swayam Prabha is called. So you know the answer. The right answer is GSAT-15 satellite. That is option B. So the right answer for this question is obviously option B. Moving to the next question, this is a master following question in which we have list 1, which includes the various institutions that are offering courses through Swayam or the different national coordinators, and then we have list 2, which is levels of education. So if you consider list 1, we have NCERT, then we have IGNOU, CEC and UGC, and in levels of education we have post-school education, undergraduate education, postgraduate education and school education. So considering the first option or the A option in list 1, that is NCERT, and NCERT is the institution that are offering courses which comes in the school education curriculum, right? So NCERT can be related to option 4, school education. Then we have IGNOU. IGNOU can be associated with which? Post-school education. Okay, so A is 4 and B is 1. So considering the options A, 4 and B, 1, we have 2 options. Alright, so consider the other C and D options as well. So CEC and UGC. So CEC is for undergraduate education. So C can be associated with 2 and D. UGC can be associated with option 3, postgraduate education. So C2 and D3. So A4, B1, C2 and D3 is option C. So the right answer for this question is option C itself. So this is why I have already mentioned, if you are considering the various institutions that are providing courses, make sure that which level of education is focused by these different institutes as well. So that is a very important perspective in which we have to consider the various institutions or the coordinators that comes under this institution or this particular initiative, that is Swayam. Moving to the next question, this is a statement question in which we have given 2 different statements. We have to identify whether these statements are true or false. Statement 1 says, the 4 quadrants of Swayam are video lecture, specially prepared reading material that can be downloaded, online discussion forum for clarifying doubts, and time-to-time assessment by experts. This 4th quadrant is wrong, right? So the Swayam platform is having self-assessment tests. That is what we have discussed when we have discussed about the 4 different quadrants that comes or that are a part of the various courses hosted on Swayam. So in that respect, we can say that option or the statement 1 is wrong. So statement 1 is false. Statement 2 says Swayam Prabha is a group of 34 DTA channels devoted to telecast high quality educational programs on 24/7 basis. That is true. It is having a group of 34 DTA channels, that is true, and it is providing high quality education programs, and it is providing it 24/7 on 24/7 basis as well. In that respect, we can say that statement 1 is false, but statement 2 is true. So statement 1 is false, but statement 2 is true, is option D. So the right answer for this question is option D itself. So in this session, we have discussed about 2 important initiatives, that is Swayam and Swayam Prabha. We have tried to figure out why these initiatives are different from each other, which are the major points that you have to consider when it comes to these 2 important initiatives, that are Swayam and Swayam Prabha. It's very important. They are focusing on these initiatives regularly in the NET exam. So make sure that you know which are the major points that you have to remember about these 2 important initiatives from NET point of view. And also we have discussed some of the sample questions that were asked from this particular area in NTA UGC NET December 2020 and June 2021 merge cycles. So I hope this video is again helpful for you in your NET preparations. So thanks for watching and happy learning.